So welcome to today's deep dive. We are jumping into a really fascinating, honestly, kind of explosive topic today.
Oh, definitely. It's a big one.
Yeah, we are unpacking this highly active Reddit thread from the r/pop culture chat community.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thread was sparked by a pretty massive quote from the actor Mark Ruffalo.
Right, regarding basically cutting ties with other celebrities.
Exactly. Celebrities who support certain actions in Palestine. He just came out and said, quote, "I do not want to talk to them anymore."
Just a hard line in the sand.
Literally a hard line. And the goal of our deep dive today isn't just to, gossip about Hollywood drama. For you listening, we really want to analyze how modern audiences measure things like authenticity.
Empathy, morality.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we live in this era of absolute extreme information overload. How do you measure who is actually genuine?
It's really tough. The rules have totally changed.
They really have. Now, before we get any further, I do need to give a crucial disclaimer right at the top.
Yeah, this is important.
Right. The source material we're diving into today contains some highly politically charged discussions. It touches on the Israel and Palestine conflict, left-wing activism, right-wing and conservative affiliations. And I want to be perfectly clear to you, the listener, neither of us are taking a side here.
Absolutely not. We are not endorsing any of these political viewpoints.
Nope. We are strictly acting as impartial reporters today. We're just conveying the beliefs, the anecdotes, and the opinions exactly as they were shared by the users in that original Reddit thread.
We're just looking at the sociology of it all, really.
Exactly. And I have to say, just starting off, it is so rare to see a celebrity draw such a definitive line.
Oh, it's practically unheard of. I mean, Hollywood is built on networking.
Right. You don't burn bridges. But Ruffalo did. So let's explore what this reveals about, our cultural shifting points.
Let's do it. So before we even get into the political fallout of his quote, we really need to establish why the internet basically universally accepts Ruffalo's bold statements without the usual cynicism.
Because usually if an actor gets political, the internet tears them apart.
Exactly. But with him, they don't. And it comes down to how they view his character. So looking at the thread, users immediately point out his Midwest Wisconsin roots.
Oh, yeah. The users were jokingly calling Wisconsin the Canadians of America.
Right. It implies this baked-in, unpretentious politeness. But what really anchors his reputation are these wild micro-interactions.
The unseen empathy, like the stories people share about him are so mundane, but so telling.
Do you want to bring up the snowstorm one?
Oh my gosh, yes. So there's this anecdote about a guy in New York City during a massive snowstorm. He's trying to shovel his car out. It's freezing, and everybody's just rushing past him.
His head's down, ignoring him.
Typical New York Friday night. But then this bundled-up stranger walks up, asks if he has a spare shovel, and just helps the guy completely dig his car out of the snowbank.
And he doesn't announce himself or anything.
No. It isn't until they're done that the stranger pulls his scarf down, and the guy realizes, wait, that's Mark Ruffalo.
That is wild.
Right. And they take a quick selfie. Ruffalo completely refuses a ride and just walks off into the snowstorm.
See, what's fascinating here is how these micro-interactions, which are really only verified by internet strangers, they build this unbreakable armor of authenticity around him.
Because in a world of, manufactured PR, you can't fake that. And there are so many of these stories, like the hitchhiker one.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth's story.
Yeah. Hemsworth was totally shocked because they were in Australia, and Ruffalo apparently picked up these teenage hitchhikers.
He drove them hours out of his way.
Hours. Just because, quote, they needed a ride. And it made him incredibly late for his own massive movie production schedule.
He just prioritized a human need over the Hollywood machine.
Exactly. And there's another one about him touring a sublet apartment in San Francisco. Instead of treating it like a business transaction, he just made small talk and casually hung out playing with the owner's cats.
It's so normal.
It is. And then on a macro level, the thread brings up his actual advocacy work, like fighting for indigenous rights in British Columbia alongside the Snoqualmie tribe.
Right. And didn't the community give him a nickname?
Yeah, they affectionately call him Mark Buffalo.
That's amazing.
And, they also highlight his environmental activism. Users point to his film Dark Waters, which they say is totally underrated, and they put it right up there with his massive hits like Zodiac and Poor Things.
Because it reflects his actual morals.
Right. It makes me think of, it's like an analogy, right? You know when you're playing a co-op video game?
Oh, yeah.
Ruffalo is like that one player who totally ignores the main quest and just runs around doing tedious side quests just to help other players level up.
Just handing out health potions to strangers.
Exactly. But okay, let's unpack this for a second. Is it just Midwest politeness, or does this level of grassroots empathy actually give him the unique social currency to make his controversial political statements?
We'll see. Establishing that he's quote-unquote nice isn't actually enough. Plenty of actors are nice. The true metric of growth, and the real reason this Reddit thread respects him so deeply, is accountability.
Okay, right. How they act when they mess up.
Exactly. When they are dead wrong. That connects grassroots empathy directly to public accountability.
And there's a really specific incident the thread kept bringing up regarding this, the Graham Norton show incident.
Oh, yes. This is a perfect example.
So Ruffalo is on the couch with his MCU co-stars Elizabeth Olsen and Jeremy Renner.
And they're talking about Wanda Maximoff, Olsen's character.
Right. And during the interview, Olsen and Renner repeatedly use a known slur against the Romani community to describe her.
And it wasn't just a slip of the tongue.
No, they were literally chanting it. It got so bad that the producers and Graham Norton actually had to stop the recording to explain to them why it was harmful.
Now, put yourself in an actor's shoes in that moment. The instinct is usually to get defensive or make a joke or release a fake PR apology later.
The classic, "I'm sorry if you were offended" tweet.
Right. But Ruffalo was the only one of the three to immediately acknowledge he was wrong.
The only one.
He stopped, and he actually apologized to the Romani community right there. And this shows the bigger picture here. Accountability is rarer than charity in Hollywood.
It requires checking your ego.
Exactly. Audiences today, they don't demand perfection anymore. They know everyone is human. But they do demand a willingness to learn.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. I want to push back a little.
Okay, go for it.
Is apologizing when you're caught actually heroic? Or has the bar for celebrities just been lowered so much that basic human decency looks like a superpower?
That's a really fair question. But in an industry built entirely on protecting a star's brand, admitting you're wrong in real time is almost radical. His genuine nature kind of acts like a blacklight.
Oh, I like that. A blacklight on the rest of Hollywood.
Exactly. It illuminates the fake, manufactured personas of his peers. Which is why the Reddit thread naturally shifted to contrasting Ruffalo against other celebrities.
Right, let's talk about those contrasts. Because people were bringing absolute receipts.
They really were.
The first major contrast they brought up was Jon Bernthal.
Yes, the working class cosplay.
It's wild because on screen, Bernthal plays the Punisher. He's the tough, gritty, working class, pro-cop guy. And off-screen, he hosts a podcast with, like, ex-military and manosphere types.
He really leans into that tough guy aesthetic.
Heavily. But the users in the thread completely exposed his hyper-wealthy background.
Yeah, the contrast is jarring.
It is. He went to prep school. His grandfather literally founded a theater company. His dad is a wealthy lawyer who sits on nonprofit boards. And he has a sibling married to an actual billionaire.
See, what's fascinating here is the danger of that Hollywood working class cosplay. The public doesn't inherently hate wealth, but they hate being lied to.
Right, they hate the deception.
This raises an important question about how the public feels betrayed when they discover a celebrity's brand is a carefully constructed lie. It breaks the parasocial contract.
So what does this all mean for the audience? Because for you listening, it's like, imagine finding out your favorite gritty indie punk rocker is secretly the heir to a massive hedge fund.
It totally shatters the illusion.
It shatters the contract between the creator and the audience. And if Bernthal is one end of the spectrum, the other contrast they brought up is his former MCU co-star, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Right, who represents a totally different kind of disconnect.
A complete detachment. I mean, the thread was heavily criticizing her lifestyle brand, Goop.
Oh, the anti-science stuff?
Yeah, promoting anti-science rhetoric, selling quote-unquote vagina rocks, just extreme, out-of-touch wealth. But what really set people off recently was her running ads for Israeli property. And combining that with a quote where she stated she, quote, feels nothing right now.
Feels nothing right now.
Yeah.
That right there highlights how her extreme wealth places her entirely outside regular society. She's in a citadel.
Right. It's like she's completely insulated from real-world consequences. And this brings us to the real tipping point of this whole conversation.
the catalyst for why the thread blew up in the first place.
Exactly,
Sure.
because we have these global issues, these massive real-world tragedies, and they are acting like stress tests. They are forcing these PR masks to slip.
And when fake personas are stressed by real-world tragedies, true character is revealed, which is exactly what led to Ruffalo's decision to just cut ties completely.
Right. And the thread brought up Jerry Seinfeld as the ultimate example of this mask slipping.
Yes, his recent interactions really triggered the community.
So there's this moment where Seinfeld is asked about Palestine, and he arrogantly chuckles and states that Palestine, quote, doesn't exist.
And that reaction sent the internet into a retrospective deep dive on him.
A full forensic audit. They immediately resurfaced this deep disgust over him dating a 17-year-old high schooler, Shoshana, when he was 39 years old.
Just connecting all the dots of past behavior.
Totally. They even brought up his show, Comedians in Cars, specifically an episode with Stephen Colbert.
Oh, that was an uncomfortable one.
Users noted that Colbert seemed to genuinely dislike Seinfeld during it, saying Colbert couldn't connect with him because Colbert, quote, has actual feelings.
See, while the users in this thread definitely lean heavily toward a specific ideological viewpoint, the psychological phenomenon happening here is totally universal.
The death of the untouchable celebrity.
Exactly. The digital age has permanently merged the art and the artist. You can't separate them anymore.
And for you listening, think about it. Have you ever had to reevaluate a piece of art or a movie because of who the artist showed themselves to be?
It's a really common, really exhausting experience now.
Exhausting is the perfect word. The sentiment in that thread was so depressing. Users were pointing out that a statement like, killing civilians is always bad, has somehow become a controversial opinion.
That really shows the baseline we're at.
It does! They listed a whole roster of celebrities who have just aged horribly in the public eye. Woody Allen, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, Ansel Elgort.
All these figures where the PR protection eventually fell away.
Right. And there was this one quote a user provided that hit so hard. It's from John Kenneth Galbraith.
Oh, the economics quote.
Yes. The quote is, "The modern conservative is engaged in one of man's oldest exercises in modern philosophy. That is, the search for a superior moral justification for selfishness."
It's a heavy quote, but it perfectly captures the exhaustion of the thread. People are just tired of seeing greed and selfishness take over people who have the infinite resources to actually do good.
They really are. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's kind of summarize what we've unpacked here.
Sounds good.
We've explored how Mark Ruffalo's offline empathy, the snowstorms, the hitchhikers, combined with his genuine accountability, has made him this rare beacon of authenticity on the internet, which in turn acts as that blacklight, highlighting the stark, jarring disconnect of manufactured celebrity personas.
Like John Bernthal's cosplay, or Gwyneth Paltrow's wealth bubble, or Gary Seinfeld's arrogance.
Exactly, but why should you, the listener, care about any of this?
Because your attention is powerful.
It is. Where you direct your attention and your money is literally a vote for the kind of society you want.
Right.
Knowing who these people truly are behind the massive PR machine allows you to make informed choices about who you let entertain you.
You don't have to just accept the manufactured product anymore.
No, you don't. So I want to leave you with a final, somewhat provocative thought to mull over.
Okay, let's hear it.
If Ruffalo is right, and celebrities are quietly severing ties with each other over fundamental moral differences, how long until we see this ideological divide fully fracture the entertainment industry?
That's a fascinating question. The whole system could split.
Right. Will we soon live in a world where movies are cast not by talent or who has the best chemistry, but entirely by aligned moral and political compasses?
It really makes you wonder what the future of Hollywood looks like.
It really does. Something to think about next time you buy a movie ticket.